Hi everyone, John McCracken, the Lone Biker here, and today I am going to head out on my Kinesis GX Race with the Redshift components to see what it can actually handle in my local trails. This is the gravel bike I use predominantly for racing gravel crits or long distance gravel races like the Gralach. Now I'm normally taking this bike up into Whiteley Wind Farm, the second biggest in Europe. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to use some of my wee local mountain bike trails just to see what Redshift components can help a bike cope with. Now I'll show you what I've got. So I have the Redshift shock stop suspension stem. I like my wee Darth Vader that's on there, and at the back I have the shock stop suspension pro seat post, and these are going to just smooth out everything, but I'm going to take it in some a wee bit rougher territory today, stuff I normally do in my mountain bike, just to see what it can handle. In the woods at Lanfine Estate in Darvel, these aren't official trails, they're kind of man-made, homemade trails, but they're good fun, and as long as you're taking your litter home and watching out for other people using the trails in the forest, you'll be good. Now, I would say these trails are, if you were at a trail centre, they would constitute blue plus. There's nothing major, and I'm sure Redshift would agree with me, and I'm sure Kinesis would agree with me too, that you're not going to take that bike down any black routes anytime soon. But you know, sometimes when you're out on your gravel bike, you just see a wee bit of road, you think, I'm going to have a go in that, and will it be able to take it? So the first bit's a wee bit of downhill, not extreme, but I suppose because I'm going to be out the saddle, this is really going to be testing the suspension stem. So let's go and try a wee bit of downhill. So there we go, and having only done that wee run before on my mountain bike, I thought that handled it particularly well. Didn't feel twitchy, Didn't feel like I was going to jump out of the handlebars at all. I mean, everybody would admit, if you want suspension, you can't beat a bit of full frontal suspension, but this did the job, so that is fantastic. So if you're on your gravel bike, you're heading to a wee bit of gravel and you're looking at a wee bit and think, never explored in there before, this will handle it. I'll talk more about this at the end of the video as well, but for now we're going to head back uphill again and try a slightly different piece of track. We're actually doing a wee bit of an uphill gravel climb. As you can see, it's not extreme, but it's the one thing I've always said the suspension seat post is brilliant for, that you can maintain a good pedal stroke and rhythm up a gravel climb without bouncing around all over the place, because that seat post is just taking all that rumble and jumpiness out. So it's well worth it for that. And if you're in your saddle in the gravel, you can maintain your energy, stay seated and not have that back wheel spinning around. So just head down through here and I'll check in with you in a minute. So the next wee bit of trail we're going to do is in this bit of woods, and there's no downhill, it's all flat, which means there's a lot of seated cycling, and this is going to be a good test for the seat post, the suspension seat post. It does take the bumps out of everything. I've actually said to people in the past, the state of the roads in Britain, one of these on your road bike, especially your winter road bike, would be perfect, because when you're actually cycling along you don't notice how crap the roads are. But this is a wee segment in here, it's all flat, so it's the kind of thing that if you were in a race you'd be wanting to power through, but not jumping up and down out the saddle. So let's go ahead and we'll just test it in this bit. That performed admirably, absolutely fantastic. This smoothed out all the bumps, and as you can hear from my breath, I was able to give it quite a good go, to the point I think I've actually got the column in Strava for it, provisional time. There are still moments, like any off-road section, whether it's gravel or mountain bike, you are out your saddle a wee bit. But for the most part, I was able to sit down in that, and with the exception of a couple of the wee bits where I had to go over logs, I was pedalling hard all the time and not really feeling it the way you would, or the way I do actually feel it on my hardtail mountain bike, and if you were just in a gravel bike without that. So that's a test passed for that one. So I'm going to head back up. The trail we started with has another wee alternate route down. I'm going to do that as well. Now, I'm not going to go as fast down this separate trail. We went that way the last time. This trail I don't know so well, so I'm picking my way around it. But when you've got roots and everything like that, this is where the stem really gets a testing. The wee uphill section here, so this tests the seated pedalling again. It's really smooth. Just allows you to power up those wee short climbs without having to get out the saddle and experiencing the back wheel spinning below you. Hey. Right, that's the kind of traily segments done. I'm going to head this way now to quite a long downhill, but it's very lumpy and bumpy, so let's go. This is the very epitome of exploration on a gravel bike. When you're on your way to your usual gravel trails, you're on a bit of road and you're going along and you see a wee turning into your left or your right and you think, ooh, wonder where that goes. And this is where Redshift really helps you out. So I'm at the top of another kind of local trail. It is a walking trail for a lot of people as well, so I'm going to be careful when I'm doing it. But if you see the woods down there, it sweeps all the way down there and eventually down there. Now, although I have got my suspension stem and the shock stop suspension seat post, a few wee caveats here. I am running the Panaracer Gravel Kings, the X1s, and they are 45mm tyres, so they are big chunky tyres. I used to race cyclocross and my cyclocross bike, I wouldn't have done it in the 33mm tyres that were on that. So I do have big chunky tyres with a nice thick tread. So if you are going to do what we are doing today, think about your tyre choice as well, and think about your wheels. They've got to be decent strong wheels. I've got the Hunt Gravel Race alloy wheels on here today, so that is a wee caveat to that. This bike, the Kinesis GX Race, is fantastic. I've having rid it now for 2 years. It does exactly what it says in the tin, which is everything. It's a gravel bike, it's a gravel race bike, it's a wee bit more race orientated. I do have a Planet X Tempest, which you may have seen in other videos. It's more relaxed, but this bike will do anything. They even say that chuck on some cyclocross tyres, it will do that as well. And as you can see here, it does actually have the points to put a front pannier bag on and the fork. But this bike does everything. As you've seen today. Now I'm going to head down this wee downhill, and I'm actually going to go down through those woods, so I'll see you at the bottom. So I'll do my wee sum up on the bike today, so you don't need to see my miserable fizzog. That's a wee Scots word for face. So, see if you were purposely going to do the trails, take your mountain bike, because it's what it's built for. I hit a few wee dips that would have been much better with my giant 29er tyres and the front suspension. One of them I nearly came a cropper. But using these and the seat post on your bike, if you can get your hands on them, it just opens up options. If you're like me and you want to increase the amount of paths and roads and off-roads that you've cycled on for Wanderer, then it's just perfect. It just gives you that wee bit more smoothness. I've spoken about before how it's perfect for gravel. If I'm in a gravel race, especially if it's 100-150k, you're just less bouncing up and down out the saddle all day. It just smooths things out a wee bit. It's a lot easier on the upper body. But can it help you do the trails? Yes. But don't go doing black runs and red runs on it. You can adjust how much flex there is in this, because when you buy it, it comes with wee rubber elastomers that sit inside here and a guide to tell you what elastomers, they're different colours and different I don't know, thicknesses of rubber, so you can adjust how much flex there is according to your weight. I didn't do that at first, probably being a mistake. So when I was getting on my bike and putting my hands down, just like I'm just now, there was too much flex. So it means I wasn't getting the full suspension if I was hitting a rocky section. So I changed the elastomers, properly read the instructions, which I probably should have done to start with, that came with it, and adjusted it for my weight, so that as I sit on it with my body weight leaning on it, it's not already going down, so I have the full travel still to go. I probably just used the elastomers for somebody slightly heavier than me, because I wanted a wee bit of a firmer feel, just because this is a bike I primarily use for racing or going fast in gravel, so I wanted it quite firm. But yeah, it's perfect. Anyway, I'll sign off for today, and if you can, just please click the buttons below and like and subscribe.